Imagine this. You're deep asleep inside a thin camping tent, not a cabin, not a locked house. Just a few millimeters of fabric separating you from a forest where wolves, bears, mountain lions, and countless other predators roam in complete darkness. You can't see them. You can't hear most of them. And if one decided to attack, you probably wouldn't even wake up in time. So here's the mystery. Why does that almost never happen? It isn't because predators don't know you're there. In fact, many of them detect you long before you ever realize they're nearby. And the real reason they usually leave you alone has almost nothing to do with luck. It began long before civilization, before farming, perhaps before humans even considered themselves the rulers of the planet. By the end of this video, you'll realize something surprising. When you're sleeping in the wilderness, the nervous one probably isn't you, it's the predator. Picture a hungry mountain lion moving silently through the California wilderness. Its hearing is razor sharp. Its eyesight thrives in darkness. Its sense of smell can detect things you can't even imagine. To it, finding a sleeping animal should be one of the easiest meals in nature. At least, that's what scientists expected. So researchers decided to test something incredibly simple. They placed speakers near mountain lion feeding sites and played ordinary human conversations. No shouting, no weapons, no engines, just everyday people talking. What happened next completely surprised them. Instead of ignoring the voices, many mountain lions immediately abandoned the area. Some even walked away from freshly killed prey they'd already started eating. Think about that for a second. A hungry apex predator willingly gave up dinner because someone was talking nearby, not because it saw a weapon, not because it was attacked. Just human voices. That single experiment revealed something far bigger than anyone expected. It wasn't simply fear. It was deep caution. And this wasn't happening only in California. Researchers have seen similar patterns across the world. Lions avoid heavily used human areas in Africa. Tigers often stay clear of villages in India, even when prey is nearby. Jaguars quietly change their travel routes in parts of South America, where people are regularly present. Different predators, different continents, exactly the same decision. Why? The answer has almost nothing to do with what these animals experience today. Instead, it began thousands of generations earlier. Things get stranger. Imagine evolution running the same experiment over and over again. Every predator bold enough to challenge humans, risk becoming the one that never returned. The cautious one survived. They raised offspring. Those offspring inherited that caution. Generation after generation, nature quietly rewarded one behavior. Stay away from humans. Over thousands of years, that survival strategy became instinct. Today, when a wolf catches your scent or a leopard hears movement around your campsite, isn't thinking about history. Its brain is simply responding to an ancient warning written by evolution itself. This creature isn't worth the risk. But that's only the first layer of the mystery. Because even if a predator ignores that instinct, there's another problem. To their incredible noses, humans don't smell like prey at all. And what scientists discovered about that is even more surprising. At this point, you might be thinking, if predators already know I'm there, why don't they simply attack while I'm asleep? After all, nothing looks easier than an unconscious human. Except, to a predator you don't look or smell like food. You smell like a mystery. Imagine experiencing the world through a nose thousands of times more sensitive than yours. A wolf doesn't just smell a human. It detects layers of information. Your skin, your clothes, yesterday's dinner, soap, sunscreen, even the chemicals woven into your backpack and tent. To us, those scents are ordinary. To a predator, they're completely unnatural. Scientists studying predator behavior have found that hunting isn't driven by hunger alone. It's triggered by recognition. Predators evolved to chase familiar prey, animals they've encountered for millions of years. Deer, elk, rabbits, wild boar. Humans don't fit that pattern. To an apex predator, you're not a familiar target. You're an anomaly. And in the wild, strange usually means dangerous. Then researchers noticed something even stranger. In several national parks, wildlife cameras have captured bears wandering through campgrounds at night. But here's the surprising part. Many of them don't charge into occupied tents. Instead, they often move toward coolers, garbage bins, or food left outside. They're looking for the easiest calories, not the biggest fight. That tells us something important. Predators, and even large omnivores like bears, don't spend their lives searching for battles. They spend their lives avoiding them. Every hunt comes with a simple question. Is this worth getting injured? Because one broken tooth, one damaged eye, or one fractured leg can become a death sentence in the wild. No hospitals, no second chances, just starvation. Suddenly, attacking an unpredictable human doesn't seem like such a smart idea. Here's where everything changes. Long before humans built cities, before we planted crops, before we even invented the wheel, we mastered something far more powerful: fire. Picture a small family gathered around a flickering campfire nearly 100,000 years ago. Beyond the circle of light, several pairs of glowing eyes stare from the darkness. Lions, hyenas, maybe even wolves. They can smell the humans. They know exactly where they are, yet they hesitate. Why? Because for millions of years before humans ever controlled it, fire meant one thing to almost every land animal: run. Wildfires didn't negotiate. Animals that instinctively fled survived. Those that didn't rarely lived long enough to pass on their genes. So when humans learned to carry fire with them, they unknowingly borrowed one of nature's oldest warning signals. A campfire doesn't just provide warmth. It broadcasts a message into the darkness. Whatever is here controls the one thing almost every animal fears. One more surprise. Hollywood has convinced us that apex predators attack anything they can overpower. Reality is almost the opposite. The most successful predators aren't the bravest. They're the most cautious, because surviving tomorrow is more important than winning today. And that's why a sleeping human often fails a predator's risk calculation before the hunt even begins. But there's still one question left unanswered. If a predator did decide to get closer, would you actually sleep through it? The answer is far more surprising than most people realize. Up to this point, it almost sounds like predators are doing all the avoiding. But what if I told you your body has been quietly helping all along? Even while you're asleep, your brain never completely shuts down. It can't. For our ancestors, sleeping too deeply often meant never waking up again. Scientists have discovered that during lighter stages of sleep, your brain continues monitoring the world around you. It filters sounds, movement, and unfamiliar noises, deciding what's harmless and what deserves your attention. That's why you can sleep through hours of rain, yet instantly wake when you hear a single unexpected sound outside your tent. Your body may be resting, but your survival system is still on duty. Except that was never humanity's greatest advantage. Picture a campsite in Africa tens of thousands of years ago. A small fire crackles. Children sleep beside their parents. Beyond the edge of the light, a pair of lions quietly watches. Why don't they attack? Because they're not looking at one sleeping human. They're looking at a group. And predators have understood one rule for millions of years. Groups fight back. Whether it's wolves hunting elk or lions chasing zebras, predators rarely attack the center of a herd. They search for the isolated one, the injured one, the one that falls behind. A campsite is the exact opposite. Wake one person, and everyone wakes. One shout becomes 5. One burning stick becomes several. A simple hunt suddenly turns into complete chaos. For a predator trying to survive another day, that's a terrible trade. But here's the reality we can't ignore. If humans are so difficult to hunt, why do attacks still happen? The answer reveals something important. Almost every famous attack follows the same pattern. The predator is desperate. An injured lion that can no longer catch fast prey. An old tiger with broken teeth. A starving bear searching for food after its habitat has been destroyed. Or an animal that has learned the worst possible lesson, that humans equal food. That's why wildlife experts constantly warn campers. Never leave food outside. Never feed wild animals. Never let predators become comfortable around people. Because the moment they stop fearing us, the ancient balance begins to disappear. Here's something most people never hear. Humans don't just change the behavior of predators. We change entire ecosystems. Researchers studying mountain lions found that simply hearing humans cause them to abandon certain areas. When predators avoid those places, deer become more numerous. More deer eat more vegetation. Smaller predators shift their territories. Rodent populations change. One species alters the behavior of countless others without firing a single shot. Think about that. Your presence alone can ripple through an entire food web. That's an extraordinary kind of power. So, why don't predators attack humans while they sleep? It's not because you're stronger. It's not because they don't notice you. It's because millions of years of evolution have taught them a lesson that's incredibly difficult to ignore. You smell unfamiliar. You control fire. You travel in groups. Your brain never fully stops listening. And above all, your species built a reputation that predators still remember. Long before written history, humans became the one animal that was simply too risky to hunt. So the next time you're lying in a tent, listening to something moving just beyond the trees, remember this. You may be wondering what's watching you, but there's a very good chance. It's wondering whether getting any closer is the biggest mistake it could make. Now I'm curious. After learning all of this, would you spend one night completely alone in the wilderness? Let me know your answer in the comments. And if you enjoy uncovering the hidden science, history, and evolution behind the everyday world, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel. Because sometimes the greatest mysteries aren't hidden in ancient ruins or distant galaxies. They're hiding in the ordinary moments we've experienced our entire lives, without ever asking why.